Auntie Serena. There's a whole nother tray of those up at the top. Let's see how many people we get today.
Is anyone watching?
I don't know.
Go on. Hi, Nana. Hi, Nana. So lovely. Renata. Auntie Renata says hi.
Good morning, TJ. Morning, Auntie Renata. Morning, Gaylords. Hello, species. Oh, Mia Croc's online today. Hello, Mia.
How many times?
Nana says, morning, my girls. Miss you lots. Good morning, Erasmus family. Good morning, Grives.
Was Mia watching the whole time?
I don't know if she's been on every day. Morning, Ayanda. Hello, Ben and Aaron. Hello, Addie and Kendall. Miss you lots. It's from Mia.
Oh, I thought you said there was another Addie and Kendall. I was like, what?
Oh, no. Let's see what else there is.
Ooh, over here. What's this?
Good morning, Hudson family.
Mommy, what's that?
Good morning, Nikki.
I think it's salt.
No, it's flour. Flowers in there.
I want to roll it out some.
Move bottles, we can't see Kendall. Now you can see Kendall. Kendall has made appearance into how many days have we been doing this now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Our 7th day, I think, and Kendall's made her physical appearance. Auntie Serena's olive oil, which is almost finished, hence our new bottle. Morning, Amber and Zach.
That could last for a month. Which Amber?
Amber Manuel. I don't think you know Amber.
You mean Zach?
Good morning, Dominic, and good morning, Evie. Morning, Miss Swanson.
Is it Amber in grade 4?
Yeah, Amber Manuel.
Yes, I have one in my class.
And you've got Zach. So say hello to Zach. Hello, Dukas family.
I'm Jason.
To be honest with you, cake flour or bread flour. So whichever you've got the most of. So spare your bread flour maybe. We can use your cake flour today. That's fine.
Stormy, what are you doing? Are you trying to give me puppy eyes? What is? Are you trying to give me puppy eyes? She wants an egg. Oh, she's giving me the puppy eyes and she's looking at the egg.
Because she hasn't eaten her breakfast.
Do you think I should go? They eat treats. They eat treats, but they don't eat their food.
They'll eat it later.
Should I give them a treat?
No, they're fine.
This is like.
Good morning, Donmore family.
I can't stand her puppy eyes.
Well, then don't look at her. Look away. Look away. Look away.
I can't. She's so cute.
Right, we're going to wait another minute or so and then we'll start.
Why do you always say that?
So everyone knows.
Oh.
We're just waiting. So everyone can get online.
Can I go and cuddle Storm quickly?
No, because you've washed your hands. Stormy can wait. Don't touch her because your hands are clean. Stormy down. Stormy bed. Okay, leave her, girls.
She wants to eat.
Right.
Scrambled
Auntie Estelle. Thanks, Auntie Estelle. Good morning, Auntie Wendy. Have you got your timing right? Hello, Kira and Jody. Good morning, Berry family.
Please tell Kendall to stop.
Kendall's teasing Addie. That's all. Right, I think we can get going. It's almost, it's 4 minutes past. So I think we can get going. Everybody ready? Right, so today's session is going to be in 2 parts. The first one is actually making the pasta dough. And then our pasta dough needs to rest in the fridge. Hence, we will have another session again at 2 o'clock. We will do the actual cutting and shaping of our pasta. Okay. Good morning, Thomas. Right. So, ingredients-wise, really simple this morning. You need your flour. You can use all-purpose flour, cake flour. You can use gluten-free flour. I haven't tried the gluten-free myself yet, so the Greif family, maybe you can help give us notes later on how that went. And then obviously the best flour to use is your 00 flour. The shops don't normally sell it. You've got to get it from specialized shops. Yappy Chef have it, but at the moment they've got like a 2-week delivery time. So yeah, so that's normally the best flour to use, but just any cake flour or purpose flour. Today we're just learning the techniques, and then what's cool about it is you can practice at home and perfect your pasta. Then we need our eggs, which we need at room temperature. Room temperature eggs are better. It actually brings the dough better, so don't put your eggs in the fridge. Room temperature better. Then we need some salt, which I have over here, and then our olive oil. Okay, so those are your ingredients, really simply. Equipment wise, we're going to use our measuring spoons, because we're going to be using a tablespoon and a teaspoon, a metal knife, metal fork. Thank you, girls. What else did I say we needed? We needed a pastry cutter. We'll only use that later. Rolling pin we'll use later. Cling wrap we'll use when we finish making our dough. Let me just check. And then your scale, obviously, to measure your ingredients. Okay, right. Everybody ready? Should we get going? Right. So we're going to start off by measuring our flour. As you want to do the flour. Okay, so again, make sure your scale's on 0 and on grams. So you must see a little baby G in your little digital screen, and grams, and must be on 0.
Yep.
And you are going to measure out 300 grams of your flour.
300.
Okay, 300 grams. I'll help me mold it.
This one's 26.
Okay, this is only the flour for the actual pasta. It's not the flour we need for dusting. We still need more flour for dusting our tables when we start. When we actually do the rolling, I should say. Yeah, 300. So you'll see the ratio of the recipe. It's 300 grams of flour and 3 eggs. So obviously if you want to make less, you can do 100 grams of flour to 1 egg, or you can do more. You can do 400 grams of flour to 4 eggs. We are using large size eggs. So if you're using medium eggs, you might need to use an extra egg. But we'll see how you go.
Can I do 2 eggs?
No, you do 1, I'll do 1, Addie will do 1.
Okay.
Okay? Make it fair. Right, okay, take some out. There we go. Well done. Right, so that's 300 grams of flour. If you've got any jewelry on or any rings on, just take them off, because they are going to get a little bit dirty. Okay, we are going to get our hands dirty today. It's almost like baking bread, but we're going to be doing it for the pasta. Okay, then I'm going to just move that out the way. So what I want you to do is I want you to take your flour, and you're going to work directly on your tabletop. So obviously make sure your table is nice and clean. You can work on a big chopping board if you like. You can also work in a mixing bowl if you like, a nice wide rimmed mixing bowl. But traditionally, working on the tabletop is best. So empty all your flour out onto the table. Okay. And then what I want you to do is with your hand, make a well in the middle of your flour. So we're making a little well in the middle.
There's a lot of flour.
There's a lot of flour. Okay. So we've got a nice little well in the middle, nice hole in the middle, because that is where we're going to pop our eggs into. Okay. So what we're going to do now, obviously for me, old habits die hard. We crack our eggs into a jug or a mixing bowl first. So we'll get Kendall to crack the first egg for us. Good girl. Okay, so your first egg, what we're going to do with the first egg. Good morning, Auntie Sheila. Yeah. First egg, I want you to gently pour into the middle of your well. Right, Addie, you can do the next egg. No, I'll pour them in, don't worry, because I don't want it to spill over. Okay. So you see today I'm doing a little bit more of the cooking today. I said to the girls they can help me later with the rolling of it, but the actual making of the pasta I thought I'd show you myself. But obviously it's extremely easy, the kids can do it as well. Right, well done, ads. Okay, so second egg into your well. Okay,
That's beautiful.
and then I will do the last egg. Nice, beautiful, free-range eggs again. I used these the other day to make our sugar loaf, and they were beautiful. Right, so 3 eggs into your well, like that. Then I want you to take your salt. You're now going to measure your salt, and I want you to measure 1 teaspoon. So that's 5 milliliters of salt. 1 teaspoon of salt. Kendall, you can do the salt.
The whole thing.
Fill up 5 milliliters of salt. Just squeeze this a little bit to get it all out. There we go. Okay, a little bit more, and stop. Right, then what I want you to do is I want you to just sprinkle your salt over your flour.
Not on the egg.
We can go on the egg, but we'll do it around the flour. There we go. So you've got 5 milliliters of salt in your flour, and then we're going to measure our olive oil. Very important that we're using olive oil, not sunflower oil, please. If you don't have olive oil, rather don't use oil. Okay. So we're going to use a 15 milliliter tablespoon of olive oil. Addie's going to measure the olive oil.
I've never done it.
But you've done the salt now,
No, but I've
sweetheart.
never done the oil before.
Okay, you can do it next time.
There's
Cool, that's actually perfect. Right, don't have to open the new one. Right, and now you're going to add those 15 milliliters of your olive oil also into the middle of your well. There we go.
on the egg.
Okay, so in your well you have your flour that makes your well, your 300 grams of flour, your 3 eggs in the middle, your 5 milliliters of salt, and then your 15 milliliters of olive oil. Okay, so you can now start using your fingers straight away, but what I like to do is I actually like to break the egg yolks down first. So I'm going to use my fork and very gently just going to break the eggs in the middle. So you're almost whisking them in the middle of the well.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it almost looks like a little bit like scrambled eggs.
Slime.
Scrambled eggs before we cook them.
Mommy, stop doing that. You're making me want some.
You want scrambled eggs, Ken?
I thought of it earlier.
Right.
It looks like gooey slime.
Now you can put your fork down, and now we're going to start using our hands. So what we're going to do is we're going to start from the outside in, and you're very gently going to move your flour into the egg, and gently start moving it around. Okay, some of it might come out, and that's fine. You're just going to move it in. So you're using your hands to mix your ingredients together. So this is the messy bit. Okay.
I would do it in the mixing bowl. Yeah.
So my mother-in-law, she's been to Italy quite a few times, and they've done a few pasta making courses in Italy. But she actually uses her food processor. So those who don't like to get their hands dirty, she puts everything into a food processor, and she blends it into a food processor. I'm a little bit more traditional for me, basically. I like getting my hands dirty. I like feeling the pastry. I like feeling my dough, especially if I'm making bread or anything like that. So that's why I like using my hands. But my mom-in-law prefers using her food processor. Good morning, Gordon family. Right, so you can see we're bringing it all together. Now, with the pasta, I don't want you ever to start panicking that you look and you're going, oh, my pasta looks really, really dry. Just keep working at it. We're going to keep doing this for probably about 3 or 4 minutes. And you can start seeing my dough is coming together. But don't suddenly get panicky and start adding liquids to it, because we rather want a drier pasta dough than a wet pasta dough. Yeah. And the reason for that is when it rests in the fridge, your gluten start relaxing, and then your flour absorbs the water in the fridge. well, while it's resting in the fridge, and then it actually starts, it actually gets wetter. So we want a drier dough before it goes into the fridge, because it's going to come out a little bit wetter. Right, start bringing it together.
Mommy, I just forgot that.
You can see it's coming together beautifully.
I forgot that we made the lollies.
Good morning, Auntie Cara.
Oh, yeah, we made lollies. Mine
you
was
did.
the papa fish.
The girls have just remembered they've got their lollies in the freezer.
I remember all of my things. The papa fish, Nemo, and whale. Yeah, I had Sharky.
So keep bringing it together. We're going to knead it a little bit. Okay. So, and when you start kneading it, it really comes together beautifully. Okay. And it starts picking up all the little bits that are on your table.
What does it taste like?
And it also starts cleaning your hands.
Mommy, what does it taste like? I've never tried rascal juice.
Rascal juice, I don't know.
No.
We'll see later, huh?
Mom.
Okay, so knead it a little bit. Brings all the bits together.
Oh. Does Granny Jill use a food processor?
Yeah?
What's a food processor?
It's almost
That mixing thing.
No, it's different to that one.
It's like, is it one of
It's a
those
round
things with
one.
a tube?
No.
Oh.
It's a big fat round one.
Big fat.
And it's almost like a mixer, but it's slightly different.
Big fat. I feel like Nana has one.
Nana does have one, you're right. Right, so everyone looking good? Yes. Kendall's less camera shy today. Kendall has decided that she'll be in the picture. She's our 7th lesson in. I think it's 7.
And she's 7 years old. Already.
Right, so hopefully your dough is looking like this. I think it's been a couple of minutes already. I'm just going to keep kneading it. And it's drier than it, so it's not as wet, which is perfect. That's what we want. We don't want a wet pasta dough. We want it to be drier more than wet. And while I'm doing this, I'm just cleaning my hands off at the same time. I'll let you feel it, Nana.
Yay! And then can I play with it a little bit? I'm not going to.
Alex, you're okay?
Can I play with it a little bit?
Just now, yeah. Okay, I just want to pick up all these bits on the table. As I always say to the kids, don't waste. Pick up all those bits. Hopefully your dough is looking good, like this one. This one's come together. Well, and you haven't baked bread with me in class yet, that's fine.
But we've made a lot of dough.
Yeah, but
I've never made bread before.
Okay.
In my life.
Right, that's what our dough is looking like. Hopefully yours is getting there.
Yes, we have.
Give me a shout out if yours is good. If you're happy with your dough. You can see it's really, really simple to make. Good morning, Loganberg family.
From a well and gooey.
Okay, do you want to feel it, Ken? Feel it?
From a well and gooey, ishy eggs and olive oil. People's weird. Funny. Can I feel it after? Yeah.
Yes. So, I think 3 eggs. Add another. Just trying to get my maths right. Probably about 50 mils of flour. So I'm trying to work it out in my head. Yeah. Did you also use large eggs? But yes, if it's too sticky, add flour. Definitely, definitely, definitely. You want a drier pasta dough. You don't want a wet pasta dough.
Oh, this is fun.
Good,
Can I
Ken.
play with it now? Done.
Everybody else okay? Just pop me a comment to say, yes, I'm cool, no, I'm not. So I can have a look, see if I can help you.
Mommy, I just finished. I kissed it.
Well, that's it. Baking's made with love. Yes, if it's too sticky, definitely add some flour. Definitely, definitely.
I'm sorry. I feel like stamping on this. Mama? Little pieces I found. It smells weird.
Close the bedroom door, please, because
Okay. Which bedroom?
His bedroom.
Okay.
Right, let's see
Can I
how.
play with it again?
Love the kiss, Kendall. That's it. Baking is made with love. Ours is very dry and crumbly. Ours is dry. That's fine. Rather, can it come together in a ball? Is it in a ball? If it hasn't come together in a ball, what you can do is get a glass of ice cold water, and then pick up some water and just splash like this, water like that, onto your dough, and then go with it. The whole idea is we can always add liquid, we cannot take liquid away. So rather add a splash of water, ice cold water, splash of water, work it in, splash of water, work it in. But again, we want dry, not wet. Okay.
I like it.
So
can I play with
a little bit of splash of water at a time.
Can I try it again?
What's wrong, Auntie Renata? Obviously, the size of your eggs does make a big difference. Bless you.
Can I play with it? Whee!
See, anyone else? Anyone else? Dukas family, yours is perfecto. Well done, well done. Don't break it. Just knead it. Thank you. Let's see, who else? Who else? Who else? Anybody?
Are you trying to get it into a bowl? This will be easy to make it into a bowl.
Okay. Have we managed to fix our dough? All good. Well done, Fernandez, Auntie Carmen. Almost said Fernandez family. Vanka family. Well done. There's husband. He's saying hi. He's just done his exercises, so he's good.
Okay, but it is true, Dad.
Right, for those that are finished, what you can do now is we are going to cling wrap our pasta. So get your cling wrap out. You're going to wrap it, try and get it into a little oval shape. And you're going to cling wrap your pasta.
That looks like it's alive still.
Okay. And then, mine looks good, made a ball. Well done. Right, so you're going to pop this in the fridge. Normally we would leave it to rest for a minimum of 30 minutes. No less than 30 minutes. Obviously we're going to leave ours in the fridge for longer. The reason we do that is we want the glutens to now relax in our dough. And then the flour is obviously going to absorb all the liquid, all the egg in that. So when we open it later, it will be slightly wetter when we open it. I just want to see that I've given you all the tips that I'm meant to. Yeah, I think that's it. Is everyone good? Those that were not struggling, I won't say struggling, but those that dough was slightly drier, is your dough better? Gaylord family, Burger family, is yours better? As you can pop that in the fridge for us.
What was that?
Ice water works a treat. Well done, well done, well done. Okay, so obviously, just pop it in anyway. Obviously, it all depends on the size of your eggs. So if your eggs are smaller, every egg is different. So we never know that amount. But adding a little splash of water will help it. Again, just don't add too much. We can always add water. We can't take water back. Right, okay, cool, well done. So that's it. That's our pasta resting. Nothing else we need to do with our pasta. It's going to rest in the fridge. We're going to come back online at 2 o'clock. The reason I've done 2 o'clock is because then everyone would have had lunch and done all the things they need to do. And then by then our pasta would have rested beautifully. So when we come back at 2 o'clock, I'm going to show you how we're going to stretch our pasta, roll our pasta, cut our pasta, dry our pasta, and then just give you 1 or 2 hints on the cooking, etc. of the pasta. And that's it. So, well done everybody. I hope you all managed that beautifully. It's really easy. I think once you've made pasta on your own, store-bought pasta will become a thing of the past. It also tastes so much more yummier. And that's it. So we will see you at 2 o'clock. And yes, if you have any issues, just pop me a message. See you later. Have a nice day. Bye.